From the KSAN Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brittany Lawrence. We'll look at your Sunday weather update, and I hope you guys are enjoying this hot summer day here across the Concho Valley. It is nice outside, but we have some dry weather for us, and it's feeling that way due to these temperatures climbing into the 90s. Reached up a high roughly around 95 today if we look over the last 24 hours, and it's going to continue to be in the 90s for a bit until we actually get closer to sunset, where we lose that daytime heating and start to see temperatures taper down a bit into the afternoon hours. And we're all still kicking in the 90s and upper 80s for some of our southern counties like El Dorado, Fort McCabe, and Menard. They're starting to come down a bit, still in those 90s for most of our eastern and even northern counties, and here in San Angelo sitting at 94 degrees. And it feels like it. Even with the winds, we're not getting too much relief. The winds actually help keep things warmer, and seeing a warm trend pretty much all across Texas. A little cooler out to the east in portions of Austin, Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Tyler, College Station, and Houston. Even in the Panhandle, they're in the low and mid 80s. Some spots, Marfa's quite cooler at 81 degrees. We're just sitting in the bullseye right now in the red zone at 94 degrees. Those winds are still blowing, keeping things pretty much warmer. The wind speeds have picked up and it's pretty much circling all that air, and it's still dry, but we're not really getting too much of relief even with those mid and upper level clouds not providing too much shade for most of us here if you're outside, or even if you're at the carnival just enjoying some family time. Now, one thing we do want is some rain here, because we're starting to see pretty much these drought conditions slowly creep back into much of the Concho Valley now. Some of the highest level of drought conditions in the orange looking color, severe drought for McCullough County, and they're in moderate drought. They've been pretty much in drought conditions over the last couple weeks, but now here in Town Green, we're starting to get into those moderate drought conditions, something to definitely be worried about if we don't get any type of rain coming through. But the good news is we do have rain on the way. We just have to go through one more day before we start this transition into some wet weather, but I'll have more details on that tonight. But tonight, what you can expect is going to be quite warmer. Clouds do come into the forecast by 9 p.m. and that's going to allow temperatures to stay in the 70s, even though we saw a hot day today in the 90s. Notice it's still going to be in the 90s around 7 p.m. So if you're out and about, make sure to stay hydrated. It's going to feel warm. It'll more of a hot, dry feeling outside until we actually get into the overnight hours, where we continue to drop in temperature. But those clouds are not going to let us get down into the 40s like we were last night. We're going to be roughly in the upper 50s for most of us. Now, looking for tomorrow daytime highs, temperatures are around 77 degrees for San Angelo, maybe mid 70s and 80s to the south. But it all depends on that cold front. If the cold front moves a little quickly, we could see temperatures possibly in the lower 70s, and some of our southern counties maybe in the mid 70s. That cold front is pretty much going to kick off those showers, which I have more details on that if you tune in tonight at KSAN News at 10, where I give you all the details on what you can expect and how these storms, and if we have a chance to see some severe weather for tomorrow. But you got to tune in to KSAN News at 10, where I give you all the details. I hope you're enjoying the rodeo festivities, and I hope you guys continue to have a marvelous and amazing day. Tune in tonight at 10.